Okay, guys, I'm really, really excited. So this is night 3 of our Mastermind series, and tonight we're going to be going over branding, and kind of like figuring out who your target market is, and how to create like a cohesive Instagram flow, Facebook flow if you're, building on both platforms, but really just figuring out what your 5 pillars are, and we're going to go over that, and really incorporating that into your feed so that you're attracting people that are just like you, right? Because we say all the time, like, people don't buy into this business, they buy into you. So they're going to follow you because they like you, because they like your page, they like the content you're putting out. And why are they going to like all that stuff? Because it's stuff that they're interested in too, or, they're a mom too, or they're a college student too, or like whatever it is. So I'm going to let these girls take it away because we got a lot of content to go over. Sarah, do you mind just starting? Is that okay? Okay, I'm going to unmute you. Oop, there we go.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Sarah. I have been in the business for 2 years now. I'm a double diamond, going triple soon. So I started in like 2018. I was a broke college student. I feel like a lot of us start that way, right? And I was like, it was the first time I like moved into my own apartment and had my own car and like had to do all of these like bills and adult things. And so I was working like 4 jobs at the time. I was in school full time. I was a dancer. Literally had all of the things. So I just needed something that was going to fit around my schedule. And this was something that came across my Instagram page. So that's something that's important, is Instagram and posting and doing all of those things, because you never know who's watching you. And the girl I joined, I only saw like one of her posts, and I saw it and I saw she was talking about earning a bonus or something. And I was like, I don't know what this is. I'd never heard of It Works before, because some people like to say like, everybody knows what It Works is. Everybody knows what this business is. And that's not true. And I had already I was a fan of Instagram. I like to post and stuff. I didn't have a huge following, but whenever she came across my page, and she probably followed me because we were both dancers. So that's another thing that's going to incorporate into what we're going to talk about, is we had that connection. I trusted her because she was a dancer, and I kind of knew the team she was on and stuff, and that's different for different lifestyles. But I ended up joining with her, and it's been up and down my entire business, but now we are pushing triple, and I'm super, super grateful for this opportunity and so excited to share tips with y'all tonight.
Okay, awesome. So like what you just said, whenever you got started, the girl that followed you, right? She followed you. You're under Cheyenne, right?
Yeah.
Cheyenne? Okay, yeah. So she followed you, and she's a dancer also?
So I'm under Kayla Sims, under Shay, and Kayla's a dancer, yeah.
Kayla's a dancer, yep. Okay, so whenever you first started, I remember following you when you first started, and all you posted about was Disney. You were at Disney all the time. Were you living in California?
So when I started the business in 2018, like I said, I was doing all those things, and then I got an internship at Disney. So I did move to Florida, and I lived there for several months. And the good thing was I got to take the business with me there too.
Yeah, because I'm this girl's always at Disney. She's living at Disney.
Yeah, I worked there.
You had an internship there. That's cool. So can you talk to us kind of about what your 5 pillars are? Can you explain what the 5 pillars are, what yours are, and kind of, are you able to screen share? Can you screen, or if I allow, can I make it so that you can?
My Instagram?
Yeah, screen share your Instagram, but I don't know if it's gonna let you. Let me know if it's not letting you. And if it's not, then I'll just screen share it.
It says disabled participant screen sharing.
All right, well then I'm going to screen share while you start talking about this. I'm going to just pull up her Instagram right on my computer while she's talking about this.
So first I want to kind of start with that. I didn't always know all of these things about Instagram, and it takes time to learn and grow your business. So if you're someone who's going to hear these tips and you get overwhelmed, or you're I have never thought of that before, that is totally okay, because I was the same place, right? So what the 5 pillars kind of are is finding things that make you you. And like I said, I followed Kayla because she was a dancer. So she had that on her profile. That was something that made her her, so I followed her because of that. So some of my 5 things are like, I'm a student, I'm a dancer, I am a dog mom, I love colorful, like I love pink, and I love like a lot of bright colors and stuff. So when you look at my Instagram, you'll see that like my highlights are like colorful, like kind of rainbow-esque type of thing. And I like really girly things. So those are the things that make me me, and they're the things that people think of whenever they come to my page or they think of me in general. So like you can see my highlights are all pink and colorful, and they match kind of like my pictures, which are also colorful. And that's not the same for everybody. Some people might like a darker vibe. Some people like animal print, and I do like animal print, but like it's not my thing. So it's not something that I wear often or I share often, which also goes into like the type of stories I make. Those are typically pink and colorful, and they're not going to be like dark. I don't usually put a lot of black. See how that is like colorful in the background and has a lot of rainbow and stuff. So those are like the things that I always want people to think of whenever they think of me, is that I'm like try to have like a happy vibe. I'll probably always post about my dog. I'll always post about school or something, and I'll be super colorful, right? So those 5 things, you can break them down to like, let's say you're a mom. I'm a mom. I do mom things. I'm not a mom, so I don't know any of these things, but I'm a mom. I want to share my kid all the time. I'm thinking of my mom. I love to garden. I have like I'm super crafty. My mom loves TikToks and memes. So what makes you you, and share those things, because that's going to be the things that people, how they're attracted to you. So they're attracted to you because of those things about you.
Okay, so obviously, like every single picture when you take it, like is in like perfect and bright and colorful and in pink. So, can you talk about like how you found like a Lightroom preset and how you use that? I basically like want a new person to be able to watch this and get out of it like, okay, how can I make my Instagram attractive? Because like, okay, so for instance, this morning I was like going through my memories because like I do that, and I was mortified for myself, you guys, because this is just like, okay, I've been in the business for 5 years now, and 5 years ago this is how we posted, and like you would not catch me dead posting anything that looks like this on my social media ever in my life, but this is what I posted, okay? And this was like on my Instagram too, right? And so what we know now, just like from all the training that we've got, and like, you know, just the evolution of being a social media influencer, right? Like like bloggers and people who are, you know, generating an income from social media, they're not blasting products all over their Facebook and or all over their Instagram feed. It's very like subtle how they're talking about, like, you know, doing their plugs, because let's face it, all these bloggers that are on Instagram, like they're advertising products, but the way they go about it is in a way that you're still attracted to want to follow their page. If they were posting that, what I just showed all the time, which is like literally what we used to do, people would not want to follow you. They would not want to be your friend. They'd be like, who, like, what is this? Like, I don't understand what's happening. So there's just like a right and a wrong way to post. And obviously, like looking at Sarah's page, you could see that all her pictures were like of her smiling, like, you know, super bright. And so there's something that we can do to our pictures through an app called Lightroom. If you guys don't have it, it's like Lightroom CC, I think. It's a free app, and you can get presets to apply on your pictures that are going to give you that like cohesive feed where everything kind of like blends together. So whenever you were looking for a preset, like what do you look for when you're searching for a preset for your pictures? Because I see like you've changed them up. I'm going to screen share again just so you guys can see like what I'm talking about. But
Yeah.
so you can see everything's like super, super bright, summery. But if you go down, I was like stalking your page earlier because I knew we were going to be like
If
talking
you go
about
down,
if you go down to
yeah, it took me a long time.
when she was up in Disney,
It was very bright.
it was very, 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 very colorful. you can just like
Yeah.
see like
So it took
every-
time.
yeah, I still
Mhm.
don't have like, but you can see everything was like very, very, but it was all cohesive.
Right there is very
Everything
colorful. Yeah.
blended together, it was so colorful. Living your best life at Disney, literally. But you
And
can
if you
see
scroll down further, it gets weird where I have like some dark presets at one point. I just like really didn't like that preset was not that great. And then it goes into like a blue pink, like it took a long time to find what I wanted. And
yeah,
these
like
ones are to where
pink.
it doesn't match very well. So you don't have to know off the bat like which one is going to work best for you. So for me personally, I just like don't really think that presets are made for people with brown hair. So like a lot of them don't work for brown hair, they're like for blondes. So I actually edit all of my pictures on my own on Lightroom, and I kind of have my own presets, and it's super simple to do on Lightroom. You have all of these options at the bottom to like play with the light, play with the colors, like bring out other colors that you want. Like if I like pink, like to bring out pink more than the other ones, or you can get like Etsy presets, which is super simple. Go on Etsy, just search preset, find something that you like, put them on every single picture. You can tweak it a little bit, and then you'll see your page start come together. Like I'll show you right now, one of my girls, when she first started, she was not posting and using a preset, and I told her like you need to use a preset. Like your pictures are all very cute, but they don't match together because you're not using anything. So this is her page before her preset. I know it kind of is not looking bright. Okay, I think it's good. So she's still like her pictures are very cute, but they weren't like meshing together. And then see right here, she got a preset, and now they like all look very pretty blogger type pictures, and that's something that really like enhances your page. But if you don't use, you can use Etsy, or you can also use an app called Tezza. So this is one that I put on my Facebook a few days ago. It's on Tezza. They already have presets there, so this picture doesn't look like that. It looks like that. And so with this little filter on there, it looks real nice. And also subtle plug to the coffee, because what I posted on Facebook was talking about my coffee and talking about sitting in the morning and like relaxing and like having freedom of my time. But I wasn't like directly putting a picture of keto coffee on there. It was my coffee cup in the corner. And I like to do that a lot because I, like she was talking about, I don't want to be like, you don't need to market for the company, like using the pictures of the products and using the name and everything. So this picture of me is something I always, every time I make coffee, I take pictures of myself, because I know like I don't get dressed every single day, which is another thing. You don't have to get dressed every single day, but whenever you look good, make sure you change your clothes a few times and take pictures. So this is me holding a coffee cup, not holding keto coffee packets right in front. And then in the caption, I'm talking about like my fall weight loss challenge and things like that. But going back to presets a little bit, Tezza is a really great app to use because it already has filters like into there. Using Etsy helps. This is another one that's like a BFF. It's going to take a second to calm down. And this is something I edited on Lightroom because it was really dark because my kitchen doesn't have the best lighting. But in whenever you lighten it up, it just makes it brighter, more inviting for people. They want to look at your picture now instead of being like, ooh, that's super dark. If you do like a dark like vibe, that's cool, but make sure it's like still like pretty, like a bright vibe, not like super like dark and everything. But that's the best way to find what works for you, and also just testing things out. And it's okay if you like change presets over and over again.
Okay, I love that. So now that we covered the presets, let's talk about when you are like following and doing reach outs and stuff on Instagram. So where can you find the one, ooh, hold on. We got stuff popping up. Jade is still working on uploading the Zoom from last Tuesday, but she has really terrible Wi-Fi at her house, so it's still uploading. The one that I did with Cheyenne and Saray the other night is on my YouTube page. It's just Asia Stone. So those are up there, and Jade's working on getting the other one up. Okay, someone asked, you take the pic with that preset or upload the pic to the preset to edit? I can show you guys how you do it real quick. Let me So while I'm pulling this up and figuring out how to screen share from my phone, can you talk about like, so obviously one of the things that we're doing is we're growing our network every day, right? So we're adding new people, we're interacting with people. Do you just go add anybody, or are there like specific things that you're looking for when you're going and following people?
So for me, the Instagram and Facebook are both very not different worlds, but they're like they're cousins, not sisters. So on Instagram, I like to market more for like distributors and the business and things. And I do always post about my coffee every single morning. But the people I follow are more like me, my age group, the things that I like. If I like to shop at TJ Maxx, I follow TJ Maxx people like that like have liked things on the TJ Maxx page. So those I'm trying to get people that are like me on there, and I go by following my friends likers on their photos. So if I go on Instagram, the first person I see that pops up that's not in the business, I just follow all of their friends because I found that person originally because they had something like me, so I know that their friends are going to have that too. So like I said, I'm a dancer, I'll follow dance pages and then go follow their people. Facebook's a little bit different. I personally like to have an older crowd on Facebook, so I follow
Same.
yeah, I follow my friends or my mom's friends, my aunt's friends. I follow just like older people on Facebook because Instagram, it's like younger people need money. Facebook, older people have money, and like you can like kind of spam Facebook, not really, but like you can go hard on Facebook, and the adults are like okay with that, and they want to see you post a before and after picture. But Instagram's not like that.
It's so funny because literally that's like my motto on it is like I host a post for my customers on Facebook because I do have an older market and the people have, I mean, I can sell $150, $200 package to someone on Facebook, like no problem. On Instagram, I feel like it's more of a place to market for like distributors. Um, so it's funny that you said that, but you guys can see my phone, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just going to show you guys. So the presets that I use, I actually just like, I don't want any type of like specific color. I like have went through different phases, but I kind of paid a lot of money for, well, I think it's a lot of money for my presets. I paid $39 for it and I almost like died when I spent that money to buy them, but it came with a huge pack. And I can like find out the name of it. So basically, you guys, you open up the Lightroom app. So this is what it looks like, this little blue guy right in the middle. So you're going to open that up and then you're going to upload a picture. Okay, here. So I'll just upload a picture of my son. He was playing today. Okay. So I'm going to put this picture in here, and on the bottom, if you scroll over, there's a little thing that says presets. So I have all of my presets in here. So Light and Airy is the name of the preset that I got. And like, Morgan Martin uses it, and that's like I like asked her like what do you use, because like her page is always like bright and clean, but it's not like blue tinted or like orange tinted or any kind of tint. It's just like clean. So I usually use the half power, but that's like not really looking bright enough for me, so I might do like, but you can see you just upload the picture and you just try different ones. Okay, so like I really like the way that this one looks, and it just brightened up the picture and made the colors pop, you know? Um, but then like I have other presets that, I mean, I have like a million because I've been using them forever, but like this was like my jam a couple falls ago. Like I used this on everything and it like made like an orange tint and it just like gave like super fall vibes to my Instagram feed. But you just can play around with it. And then like she said, so like if I think that this is too orange, I can apply it and then I can go down to color. You can like adjust the temp. And I never just apply a filter and leave it. I always have to mess with it a little. But you can like play with these things. Whoa. Someone just booted me out. Am I still on here? Okay. Can you still see my phone? Okay. I'm like, I don't know what just happened. But you can go up to this little mix guy right here and say, I like think it's too orange. I can just turn down the saturation of that. You can change the hue to be like more orange, more red. make it brighter. So you just mess around with it, and it takes a little while to get used to, but then like once you find something that you really love, you can click these little three dots right in the top right hand corner and do create preset, and then you could just name it. So like obviously I'm not going to keep this because I don't even know what I just did, but I would just name it fall 2020, and then like anytime that I go in to do a picture, I could just go in and they're sorted alphabetically. So I'm going to scroll down for my whole life. Um, and then like you can just apply that to all your pictures. So it's super easy to use. You just got to kind of like get the hang of it. You know, you get like a feel with it, you tweak with the settings, and you figure out like what works best for what you're doing. The name of the app, Sarah, I think she said it was called, what was it called? Taza? Teza. Oh, you typed it in here already. All right, you're already ahead of me. So anyways, sorry, I'm like mom braiming right now. Oh, you muted yourself. I'm like, why isn't she talking? What's up?
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
But I forgot. So also with presets, you can like look up videos on YouTube and stuff. I have a YouTube page that I like show how I edit mine. If you don't want to pay for a preset, Tesla's free. And then I show on my YouTube like how I change my settings on there too. And it's just Sarah Salinas on YouTube.
Okay, perfect. So any last like tips that you have about your Instagram, following people, attracting your market, just anything that you got to throw in for someone who is like brand new and they're just watching this and trying to figure out like, okay, where do I start to like have a pretty Instagram? Because obviously like none of us come into this as like awesome like photographers that are like posting these beautiful pictures and know exactly what to do, and it's like, you know, so
Yeah. So first thing that I would say for anybody who's brand new in the business is look at your bio on Instagram, look at your profile picture and your highlights, because those are going to be the first things that people see when they come to your page. So you can easily like look up a video on how to change your highlights, look up on Pinterest, highlight covers, and I like my highlights to complement my feed. So that's why they're pink and green and blue and whatever. So whatever complements you, making highlights is super important. Changing your bio, have those 5 pillars in there, like what you do or what's your favorite things, your hobbies, like you have a kid, you're a dog mom, or a real mom, like whatever it is, have those in your bio for people to see. And then have your profile picture something that's clear, you can see you in it, it's bright and pretty, so that's your like your storefront. So you want that to look really nice, and then have your link in there. If you don't know how to make a milkshake app, that's also on YouTube. It's called like influencer application on YouTube, and you can add that there. And then the last thing that I wanted to talk about was no, that's actually everything. That's what I had. And adding your stories to where they link to Facebook. So making sure you have that setting on, so whenever you post to Instagram, they automatically go to Facebook, because when I first started doing that, I maybe had a few views on my Facebook story, but since they were linked, they were consistent, because I'm consistent on Instagram, so they consistently went to Facebook, and now I have way more views on there, and I'll have the adults who will spend more money on products message me and it's like see my story, and then they'll message me from there. So making sure you have those two linked, and it's just in your settings on Instagram.
I was talking and I was muted. Last question. Is your Instagram public or private, and why?
So I know I have always been told to keep it private until I had 10,000 followers, but I never listened. So I actually have had mine public since I started. I think I might have privated it for a little bit, but when you have your Instagram private, you have less opportunity to be on an explore page. Your reels, like everything's only going to be seen by your followers. And I understand like making it private, you have more opportunity to get follow back. But if you're taking care of your page and making it look nice and inviting, people will follow you back. And it took me a long time to get to where I am. I was just looking at a screenshot of my page last year. This time last year, and I had 2,000 followers. So it's taken me a year, but I've gotten it up, and it's because I have been more consistent. I take care of my page and I keep it public, so that way I do have that opportunity to have exposure in different places.
So I actually just changed my page over to like a I don't know, like a not a business account, but like what are they called? The other one, like a professional account. I forget what it's
Yeah.
called.
Yeah,
Um,
I have a professional account.
yeah, yeah.
That too is really important.
But so when you guys do that, like she was just saying, so like for instance, well, and one other thing too. So if she was private and say someone did like a host to post for her on Instagram and like it was referring them to go fill out her application, this like top part right here, you would see all of this. You just wouldn't see the highlights or anything down. So people are going to be able to read your bio even if you're private. So you want it to like say like, you know, who you are, like what can people expect to, you know, find. And they will be able to get to this, but crap, what was I just
Yeah,
gonna
and
say?
I highly recommend being on a professional page, because once you switch over to that, and being a professional page doesn't mean you have to be like amazing and have like 1 million followers. You just like literally can do it. It's on your settings. But
Oh
that
yeah.
gives you insights to the type of people who are following you and what time they are on. So I look at my insights and it'll tell me around this time my followers are most active. So I post about an hour before that peak time. That way it's like ready whenever those people are getting on. So it'll give you all those insights so you can kind of navigate like when should I be posting, what type of people are on my page, where are they coming from. It'll tell you like these people are from this
Yeah,
area
the
or whatever, and
insights
you
is
have
so
this
good.
many girls. Yeah.
So like this is the, what do you call it? The popular page, the explore page, the explore page. So if you go on my explore page, you can like see exactly the things that I look at when I'm on Instagram. So I'm looking at Ray Dunn stuff. I'm looking at like Halloween decor, like Michael's, Target, Kohl's. There's like here's Morgan and Cheyenne right at the top of my page. But this Reels thing is like what made me, because I need to start making reels,
You
and
gotta do reels.
Kristen Kirkendall like inspired me to do them, but I'm just like terrified. But everyone's reels show up right here and they're like little mini TikToks. So but like I said, like this is all the stuff that I like. So if you're posting content that somebody is viewing and looking at, and you know, say there's like hashtags and stuff in it, then their stuff is, your stuff is going to show up in their explore page if you're public. So yeah, just a little tidbit on that. Okay, here we go. What are we going on? Where do you find that? Where do you find what? If you could just let me know what you're talking about. Find what part? I wasn't reading my I wasn't reading the chat. Okay.
I think it might have been the explore page. The explore page
Oh,
pops up whenever you click the little like magnifying glass on Instagram, or if you're talking about how to change it to professional, you go into your account settings, and at the bottom it'll say switch to professional account.
so this is the explore page, is right here at the bottom. And then if you want to change your stuff, see how it has like the insights on it. It was like super small.
It'll be under insights where you can
Yeah,
see
it'll be like under the insights, but you can just go into your little like dot 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 up here. I can't do it clearly. And then if you went into your settings, and then oh, that's what it is. It's a creator account. That's what I was like. Oh, how to tell when your followers are on. So you'll go into your little insights. So you have to have like a creator or a business account to be able to view this. That's right? That's not like a made up story. I'm pretty sure you have to. And it will like show you a breakdown like this. So I'm not gonna like go through all of it, but it'll just show you, like if you click on your followers, it'll show you like the last 10 days when they're most active, the cities that they're coming from, like the top locations, the age range. So most of the people who are seeing my content are 25 to 34, which makes sense. I'm 31. And yeah, so that's like a really good tool to use. So, all right, I am going to find Italy. Where is she? Oh my God, where are you? She was just here a minute ago. I just saw her. Oh, there she is. Okay, found her. I just asked to unmute you. Oop, did it work? Where'd you? Oh, there she is. Okay, perfect. Oh no, now I can't pick that up. I have to make it big. Spotlight. Spotlight. Okay, perfect. Okay. So Italy, am I saying your name right? I hope that I am. I'm just like, people all the time will be like, they'll try to read my name and they'll be like, Asia. And I'm like, nope, it's like just Asia. It's not anything fancy. So please introduce yourself. Tell us how long you've been in the business, your rank, all that good stuff. And then we're just going to jump right into your tips.
Okay, so my name is Italy. I'm 23 years old. I was like, I am 23, right? Yeah, I'm 23. I've been in the business for a little bit over a year. My 1-year anniversary was in May, and I am from California. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Okay, and I'm gonna screen share because I actually already like followed you because I think we're in like a pod together or something. But Italy's page is very airy. It's like very white and airy and like it gives me like boho vibes. So I'm just gonna pull this up and let her talk a little bit about this. And then so you've only been doing this for a year and your Instagram is like so good. So can you talk about just like your posting and who you're targeting yourself towards and how you're doing that through these posts, and just like share your tips with us.
Of course. Give me just 1 second because I realize that my iPad's about to die and
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
no, you're good.
want. Sorry. Okay. I was like, that would be bad.
Well, someone like kicked me off of here before, and I think I'm scared it like stopped recording in the middle, but I'm not sure because I'm like using Jade's thing, so I'm like, eh.
All right, I think. Can you still see me or no?
Yes.
I don't know if the camera's like all weird. Okay, I had to like, okay. So kind of the same thing as like Sarah. I try to make sure that like my highlights, that the colors that I have on my highlights kind of go with what my actual feed looks like. So for me, I feel like I always kind of go back and forth because I can be girly, but I also am really into kind of like fall vibes, like dark colors, like you said, kind of boho. So I try to like mix the two together. So recently, for my pictures, you can tell it's kind of like the pink and blue, but it also still has like some dark colors in there. But I make sure that if I change a preset, I'll at least do like the first 12 photos, like kind of the same preset, and then I'll change it up again. So then even when you're scrolling down, it's still like cohesive, even if I change it up. And then so for one thing I did want to say was like for your picture on your bio, that's pretty much like the very first thing that people are going to see. So if you are new and you have like a cat picture or if you have a picture of your kids, that's great. But you want to make sure that you change it to a picture of you because this is like your brand, your company. So you got to make sure that, you know, people can see like a friendly face. So I kind of had to switch mine around too. I used to have a picture of like me and my husband, but I was just kind of like, get out of here. Like, this is my time to shine. So I just took like a picture and then just like put it just of myself. So I would definitely recommend to have a picture that's like just you, or that if you're like with family or something like that, that you are like the main center of attention. Something that you'll definitely notice when you look at my page is that like I think a bio is like super important. I've switched that around plenty of times too, but I try to make sure that people can kind of get a feel of what they'll see in my account, even if they don't know me yet. So that's why I have kind of like health and lifestyle, positivity, that I'm a wife, that I live in California. And then I like the little quote, like coffee in one hand, confidence in the other. Because if you look at my page or like my stories, the number one thing you're always going to see me talk about is like the coffee. So I, same thing as Sarah, don't always just have like
Oh
pictures
my
of
gosh,
like
I didn't
coffee.
expect that to play sound.
Sorry, what was that?
I started your stories and it started playing sound and it was really loud.
Okay, so one thing also that you'll notice when you go to my stories is that I rarely post slides, and I feel like that's actually helped me a lot when it comes to like my views or like interaction. I try to be like super genuine, and I'm all about like building connections, like building friendships. So for me, like if I do a video like this morning and I'm looking rough, like I'll still post it because that's kind of like how I am most of the time. And I want to make sure that people see the real me with no makeup or like a little sweaty after doing a workout, things like that. Because if you come to my page, you're not going to see like glam. You're not going to see me being like bougie, talking about makeup, because that's not me at all. So I stick to kind of like what I feel comfortable with. So for me, some of my pillars or things that I definitely would say make me are like that I'm a wife. So if you like scroll, you'll see pictures of me and my husband. I'm a big sister. I'm an older sister. So for me, even though I'm not a mom, I've noticed that a lot of like my market, and it took me a while to kind of figure out like what my market was, but for me it definitely is like young wives, or like, you know, just like girls that are kind of around my age, but also a lot of moms. So I'm not a mom myself, but I feel like I can really like connect with people when it comes to like children, because I'm an older sister of 4, and then I grew up in a Hispanic household where we have like a ton of kids, and usually we like look after them if you're the older one. So that's kind of one of the things that I like, that I feel comfortable like talking about, like, you know, being an older sister, being a wife, basically like a second mom. I love anything that has to do with like positive quotes or any humor, like the memes. Like I love showing people like my goofy side. So there's a lot of times where I'll do like a video and I like start stuttering, or I say the wrong thing and I still leave it. Like before, I used to be super hard on myself when I started, and would avoid like doing anything that had to do with like showing my face at all, because I was super insecure with like my teeth and like just little things that I would like nitpick at. But then I realized like, this is me, like this is the real me, like this is what people need to see, you know. So I feel like that's kind of one of the reasons why a lot of people come to me. So that's one of the things that I'm very like proud to say, that I do message still for host to post, but I don't do any messages like intro or anything like that. I feel like I kind of give off the vibe that people can like message me, because again, I don't post a lot of slides. I show my face a lot. I like, or even if I'm not showing my face, I'll talk like over my video doing like my celery, or I'll show myself actually using the products. And I feel like that's very inviting to people. Another thing is that when I'm marketing the products, just like how Sarah was saying, we don't try to look like salespeople, and like how you were saying too, you know, there's a lot of other like content creators, bloggers that focus on like just their I guess you could say their brand, and then they incorporate the products, and we're no different. So I know that a lot of the times that we can look at other people like sideline sisters, people within the business, but there's a lot of people like bloggers or influencers that you can look at that don't do what we do, and that you can get a lot of ideas from. So that's kind of what I was doing. And I honestly prefer doing that a lot, like looking at people's accounts that are not in the business. And one of the reasons that I personally do that was because when I started, I would look at like different people's page, like leaders that have been here for years, that you scroll and they have like thousands of pictures and everything looks perfect. So to me, I was just kind of like, I'm never going to get to that level, or like, I'm not as interesting as they are. Like, I don't even know what to take a picture of, you know, like my face. I'm pretty sure people are going to get tired of that. So I kind of just like, instead of being a good thing for me, it would just kind of bring me down, or like I would play the comparison game. So knowing how I am, I would just kind of like go to other influencers, like other bloggers that I liked looking at what kind of presets they use, how they would promote like products when they would partner with companies. And that's basically the approach that I take. When I start posting about the products, I never really name the company that I'm with. It's not because I'm ashamed of the company, no, or like I'm trying to hide something, because our company is great, but that's just a marketing tactic that I use, not using the name of the company, because I feel like it kind of goes both ways. You can either get more customers or you can kind of lose customers when you start talking about a certain company, just because people who are not familiar with like network marketing or like things like that, they just, you know, start to hate. So when you're just kind of talking about a product that you found, like today in the morning, my celery, I just posted like, oh, you know, I'm drinking my celery. I felt bloated this morning. I felt my face was like inflamed. So I just start saying how I love incorporating it every day. So little things like that. I'm like, cut me off, girl, because I'm just going to keep
Oh,
rambling.
I didn't even realize I wasn't muted. I'm over here like ready to unmute myself. I'm just like, yes, yes. All of that is so good. So it's so true. So same thing. I never say the name of our company. The name of our company is not anywhere on my Instagram. It is not in my posts, because I want people to ask. So if you give too much information, then people aren't going to ask you questions. And like what you were just saying about like showing your face and making your stuff. So I try like every morning to make my coffee, whether I just use Snapchat and you know, then I'll like speed it up into like the like double rabbit speed and download it and like post that up. Or if I just take a recording of myself on, so I always use Snapchat. Guys, don't feel like you have to like go live on your Instagram while you're like making products. Literally, I'm pretty sure like 90% of us use Snapchat, or we like pre-record on Instagram and then upload it. But I use like Snapchat, and like I find like a cute filter on there that like makes me look tan, makes my skin look nice, because I'm like pregnant as heck and like have 4 kids and like look like a hot mess 24/7. So yeah, so I'll just like throw up my Snapchat filter and I do like my little hands free, and I'll make my coffee and I'll just like talk about what we're doing. And then you just like upload it, and so many more people will continue to watch through your stories. So like if you're noticing that when you're looking at your story views, they're like dropping significantly from like your first slide that's up to the last one, it's because people are jumping out. And that's also another one of the insights that you can see on Instagram. If you do the creator profile, you can actually view insights on your stories, and it will tell you like how many people tapped through to the next slide, or how many people exited after they saw that. So you can just be mindful of what you're posting. So I try never to like post, if I'm doing like before and after slides, I try to only post like 2, maybe 3. I won't post like 7, you know, before and after slides in a row, because I want people to get through them and then like get to the next video of like my kid doing something stupid or like, you know, whatever.
And that's exactly what I do. I'm kind of going back to that. Like, it's rare that I use slides, but if I do, I try to keep it like 3, like the max of the slides, because people's interest like can go down significantly when you're using slides. So another thing is like, I don't think of myself as a super creative person when it comes to doing slides. And I always hear this on different Zooms, so I definitely want to mention it, is that you don't want to just be like copying somebody else's slides and then reposting them on your story, because then people are going to think that you're kind of like this creative person, or that you're one way, when in reality, like, that's not you. You know, like, for example, for me, like, if I post like something extremely girly or like different, like things like that, it just, I can even feel it that it's not mine. So for me, because I do have a super tight schedule, I feel like it's just so much easier, even if I'm, like I said, looking rough, to just post a picture, like a selfie of me drinking my celery, or me making my coffee in the morning, like in my pajamas, or like before getting ready for work, like things like that. So that's definitely a tip that I would give, is that if you're new and you're feeling a little uncomfortable to kind of put yourself out there, show your face or your voice, because guys, when I started, I had all that against me, like with my insecurities, like I said, with my teeth, and then I could never get the right angle, so I'm always showing my double chin. And then my voice too. After talking for a while, I feel like I get annoyed of my own voice. So I was trying to avoid showing my face or talking at all, like on Instagram, or videos, anything like that. But now I realize that, like, me being a very talkative person and messing up is just a big part of who I am. Like, people who know me in person know that that's me. So I'm like, okay, like, I mean, I have friends, you know, like, I guess I can be likable. So why not show that on Instagram? And I feel like, again, that's one of the reasons why people feel comfortable enough to ask me questions, or just not feel like I'm trying to sell them something. So like my inbox, I will get people also messaging me from my highlights. So I kind of want to go back to that with the highlights. I feel like your page is you working 24/7 without you literally working 24/7, if that makes sense. Like, you know, your page is working for you like all the time. There's always somebody that's going to come across your page at like 2 a.m., 6 a.m., like whatever. It's always there on display. So you want to make sure that you're taking care of your page, like being consistent with your posts, if not like on your feed, because that's something that I kind of struggled with at the beginning too, like posting consistently. But on my stories, I try to make sure to always like be on there, and just kind of separate, like when I do like business posts and like product posts, like before doing one or the other, I'll post like a quote or something like about my sisters or me getting ready for work, and then I put like the products. So then it's not like the first thing that they see right away, if that makes sense. And with the if you look at my highlights, I have different ones. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me put that on.
Here, I can screen share again.
Okay. Because I was gonna say for like my my highlights, I like to just divide them based on like the biz, like coffee, detox. Those are like the main products that I'm always talking about, like coffee and detoxing. So you see, I also have like the highlights of my sisters being goofy, or like me making fun of them, because that's just how I am. So a lot of the times is when I post something on my story that has to do with like the coffee or celery, if I thought like, okay, this day I looked good, or like this day it was like spot on the information I gave, then I just like keep it on the highlights, and people will message me. Like, even if the highlight is like old, they'll like go message me and ask me for like more information about, like, for example, the coffee. I've had a lot of people swipe up on this specific like highlight, where they'll send me info.
Look
like,
at you,
oh, I
Skinny.
want bundle. So they'll tell me like, oh, like I want
This is
bundle.
you, right?
Yeah, that's me.
So good. Our products are the best.
Yeah, so another thing is like for you to be a product of the product, and that's my husband. So I used him as like my little guinea pig too, and then I have
Guys, so cute.
So I'm always talking about, like, you know, what we personally used, and I guess that incorporates like me being a wife, or like right there I'm literally saying I'm on a mission to make my husband look like Mexican Thor. So like just little things like that. Like, I don't take things too seriously. I just try to make it fun. So just if you don't have highlights, make sure that you start incorporating that into your Instagram, and to make sure that the things that you want stand out, that you're consistently updating them. Because if you don't add something new to your highlight, and you're adding, I guess, things to like other ones, it's gonna throw it all like the way back, if that makes sense. Like, for example, like the first ones you'll see for me, as you can tell, is like the big sister, the business, and then the weight loss. But then if you scroll all the way like to my other highlights, the last one is like concerts, which is like the last thing I like post about. So you want to make sure that you're constantly updating your highlights. And I recently started using the Reels too. And one of the things that I like about the Reels or the IGTV is that you pretty much have the option if you want it to go on your feed or not. So I thought that was pretty cool
Oh,
because
really? You don't have to post it to your
no,
feed?
you don't have to. It like gives you an option that you don't have to post it to your feed. So then when people like go to your, because it's already divided like in categories, like, you know, the Reels, IGTV,
Yeah.
post. Yeah, so when you're like trying to post a Reels or like the IGTV, it should give you an option that if you want to post it to your feed as well, or if you click no, it'll go like to just the tab of the IGTV or the Reels. So I thought that was pretty cool because I have like a Reel that I did that I don't have on my feed, but that I have like, you know, on the actual tab. So I thought that was pretty cool because it doesn't mess with your little, I guess, like cohesive like vibe of your feed if you're not trying to like mess it up or can't find like a cover page to go with that.
Oh.
So
I was gonna say something, and now I don't remember what it was because that's just what happens to me. But it was when I was looking at your. Oh, I remember now. Okay, I had to go back and look at your page. So, like she was saying, like she doesn't take herself too seriously when she's making her stories and stuff. So I kind of look at like stories versus the posts that you're posting to your profile feed as like your Instagram versus reality. So like your feed and the pictures that you're posting to your page, so when someone goes and they're looking at your pictures and everything's like pretty, it's like that's like your Instagram. Then when they're up in, stop kicking me out, people. When you're in your, someone must be getting on to do a Zoom at 10. When you're in your stories, that's like the reality. That's like you every day showing who you are, like whether you're looking like a hot mess or if you're someone that gets dressed and does your hair and makeup every day. Like that's where people are going to see like the real authentic you behind the scenes. You know, it's like the Instagram feed is like the, you know, like premiere, and then the Instagram stories is like the bloopers, you know, it's like where people are going to get to know you, hear your voice, see that you're a real person. And that like, just cause like you can edit pictures and make them look pretty, like doesn't mean that you're not just like a hot mess like everybody else, you know?
yeah.
And that's like where people are going to really relate to you. So one thing that I will suggest that you guys do if you're brand new and you haven't, you guys get those 7 sample credits for the coffee in your kit. Send a few of them to your house so that you have some product that you can make in your stories and talk about until you earn your shopping spree and can order more product. Because even if like you're not talking about the coffee, if you're in your stories and you're just like talking about your day, but you're making this coffee, and then like people are going to be like, wait, like that's not normal coffee that they're making. Like what is this in this packet? Like what is happening? And people are going to get curious. So I do think someone's trying to get on here to get onto another Zoom. So do you have any final words for us before we hop off of here?
I guess I would just want to say, like, if you're new or even if you're not new, like, it can happen to the best of us. Kind of going back to what I said, like, with the comparison game of, like, your page. Something that kind of stuck with me was one thing that I remember, like, Brittany Hayes saying in one of her Zooms was, like, that your likes or your views, they don't equal dollars. Like, you know, that's not the amount that you probably have like in your bank account. So if you're new and you're looking at somebody that's been in the business for a while and you're looking like, oh my God, they're getting like so many likes or like this and that doesn't mean that, you know, everything is like, I guess, butterflies and rainbows. Like you said, you know, in the actual feed, that's where you look a little more gathered and like kind of picture perfect. And then in your stories, don't be afraid to be you. If you're a mom, you know, that's constantly running around after her kids, like show that, you know, if they like painted on a wall and now you're pissed and you're like, how am I going to clean this up? show that. Like, you know, so little things like that. Don't be afraid to be yourself, because the purpose of this is for you to attract people like you. So like if you're trying to pretend to be somebody you're not, like, you know, where you're like, oh, I'm gonna be all bougie or like do my makeup all the time, and then you're not gonna attract the right people. Like for me, I, you know, like love shopping discounts. Like I said, I'm an older sister. I rarely wear makeup. So little things like that. It's just easier for me to connect, I guess, with like people that kind of have the same mindset, you know, where we just can make that connection, if that makes sense. So I guess what I'm trying to say in like fewer words is just be yourself, because you're trying to attract people that are like you, that are going to understand you, and by you being yourself, that's what you're going to get. So
exactly, you being yourself is how you're going to gain trust with your followers, and like people can tell when you're being phony. So if you're just being genuinely you and you're like, you know, you're just being your authentic self, people are going to see that. And then when they do become a customer with you or they do join your team, they're going to consistently see that same person. It's not like you're putting on a front, you know what I mean? So thank you guys so much. Someone's trying to kick me off of here again. So I'm gonna get off of here. I will get this uploaded to my YouTube. But I really appreciate